This video focuses on the left hand of La Cumparsita. What I want to do is play the whole thing for you first and ask you just to listen for the repetitive patterns. Mostly 8 chords in a row, then a new chord, 8 chords in a row. But this is the whole piece. One, two, three, four. And now, for a look at those repetitive chords. You may have this chord sheet. So the first thing that we need to learn is the E chord, E, G sharp, B. Once you've found that on your instrument, practice the move from that to this. So if you compare the two, what you're seeing is that finger 5 stays in the same place. The middle finger changes from 3 on G sharp to 2 on A, and the thumb moves up to C. If you're struggling to find those, stop now and look at the diagram and work out those chords, and then start practicing moving back and forth between them, which is what we're going to do right here. E chord, those 3, A chord. So to make the change, this stays right here. We lift finger 2, put down, we lift finger 3, put down finger 2, and the thumb moves up 1 note. So I'm going to play 8 times the first chord, and then the move to the second one. I have just played the first line twice. You'll notice it gets a little louder, the crescendo mark at the end. So it's time for you to do that now. I'm going to have you watch my hands. E, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. A minor, 2, 3, 4. A minor, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Practice back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Pause, make sure you're secure with it, and we'll play it together one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now look at the second line on the chord practice sheet. Same thing, that E chord to A chord, A minor, until the very last measure, and then we're going to D. So we need to compare the A minor, which is where we've been, to the D minor. What stays the same? Well, nothing. Nothing, really. You've been here, and you need to get here. So let's just analyze that. The little finger simply moves down, and then just lift and move your whole hand into a root position chord. Remember, root position is letter name, skip a letter. D, skip E, F, skip G, A in this place. So you don't really need to make 3 distinct moves to get down there. You need to know, I'm going to a D minor root position chord, move to the D, and just put your hand in place and play 5, 3, 1. So your practice now is going to be 4 of these to 4 of those. 1, 2, ready, go. And then in context, you will continue the next line with the D minors. So, like with the others, you're going to have 8 D minors. Down here. What happens next? Well, we're back to A minor, but it's a different shape. From the top of the screen, you can see the lowest note, with finger 5 on it, is an E. But down here, the lowest note is an F. Let's see how that works out in the piano. We've been on this A minor. The definition of an A minor chord is A, C, E. That would be a root position chord. So the first time we encounter it in this song, that E is down at the bottom. Still an A minor chord. Here in the third row, when we go back to A minor, the C is drawn down to the bottom. We still have our A, C, E. That's the definition of an A minor chord. So this move is a little bit easier because we're moving from D to A minor. What stays the same? Well, the thumb. So what's really happening is we're just spreading out. You're opening up where there's the most space, which is between these two fingers. Lift and keep the thumb where it is, but just open up, and that takes finger 5 and 3 right here. So now we practice. I do want to point out that there's a missing chord. I don't know how that happened when I copied it, but there should be another A minor chord right here, a bar line and an A minor chord. Once you've got that and you're happy, ecstatic, or just generally contented with the fact that you can manage this chord, we need to make a transition to the E minor, the E major. That's wrong. I think I'm going to have to bring this out of its case and make a couple of corrections. First of all, this is not an E minor, it's an E major, like right at the top. It's not the whole thing though. Remember up here at the top we've got an E, G sharp, and B. Down here we have an E sharp, an E, and G sharp. And finger 3 is already on the E from the A minor chord. So just kind of lift your fingers, but keep the 3 on the E, slide it back, and your thumb comes to the G sharp. So what we need is 4 times this. So the transition is this: A minor, and a little trick when you know you're going to something, a black key in your way out here, is to kind of march in. The alternative, and we see it a lot, is you have to all of a sudden jerk, but why not just walk in that direction? There's no rule anywhere that says you have to play your chords out on the edge. You play them anywhere along the key. So this third line is back to the D minor. A minor should be 4 there. 4 more. Move in. And a single note, which happens to be the one that 3 is already on, the E, 2, 3, 4. And then thumb stretches to A. Okay? So that very beginning of the final line is... And then there's a little bit of a pause. We're actually going to head down to an A minor scale to end this. And you might not be recognizing in the music that that's an A minor scale, but it is. The reason you might not recognize is it's actually not a 5-note musical figure. It's 6. And finger 2 is going to reach over here for this. Okay, so long finger 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So find this position. I'm going to hold it for just a little bit. You're really on this and just moving over, and then you'll be back, okay? When you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna go slower. And now I'm going to wait for you. Good. I'm going to send a separate video that is a slow recording of La Cumparsita so that you can practice the chords along with it when you're ready. Great. Chord practice for La Cumparsita. And here we end.